Winona Earp, and there's a
I was gonna plug Winona Earp.
There's a fan campaign, or from the showrunner actually, to get Lucy to play a character.
The mom.
I know, don't spoil it. Yeah, it's spoiler. Or how much she might play. But what other shows, aside from Winona, which everyone should watch because it's fantastic, what other shows are you liking right now that have strong female characters?
Awesome.
And you can all talk about how much you love Winona Earp.
I love Winona Earp. I've been telling everyone to watch this show, and I told them, you know, if they can't get Lucy, I'll show up. If they need it.
If Xena and Supernatural had a baby, it would be Winona Earp.
Other shows I like a lot are Dark Matter.
Oh my god, I love that. You guys, it just got canceled.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it literally just got canceled.
Of course.
I thought it was just on.
Maybe Zoe Palmer can be on Winona.
Yeah.
There we go. And I enjoy
Lost
Girl.
I know,
Lost
I miss
Girl.
Lost Girl so much.
Yeah, if you don't know Lost Girl, check it out. And I also enjoy Killjoys, although I'm not current on Killjoys, but I like that producer, those producers, and they know the Winona Earp folks too. And I think Emily Andress, the showrunner, Winona Earp, I believe, wrote for Lost Girl. Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
She took over. Michelle
Lovretta, okay.
Created Lost Girl, and then after I think the first or second season, Emily Andress took over Lost Girl, and then Lovretta went on to make Killjoys.
Gotcha. Thank you. So Emily Andress took over Lost Girl. Lovretta went on to make Killjoys. So there's relationships there. So there's themes in most shows.
And then I'll just throw in Ash vs. Evil Dead if you want more Lucy Lawless. I really enjoyed it. If you're okay with the really campy but also sort of gory TV show, it's a good one. Lucy Lawless has been incredible, but then there's also Bruce Campbell, so it feels kind of like a Xena reunion. And then Ted Raimi is even in it in the newest season.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He's not Jockster, is he?
He's zombie Jockster.
Another fantastic queer show that's over now, but with Spartacus.
Yes.
Whatever.
Yeah.
And that Lucy was amazing on that
Yeah.
one too. But it was there's a lot of great queer characters on that as well. And they lived in.
Lawless actually has a quote, and I think it may have been from an interview about Spartacus, but it's basically like how all of her characters become bi or lesbian by the end. Because she was also a character in, like, I think Salem, and she ends up having a lady romance. It happens a lot. Like, we know what we want from Lawless. Like, do you guys remember her in Battlestar Galactica? Oh my god, hurry!
Don't forget she was on the L Word.
She was also a guest star in
You don't
X-Files.
talk about that season.
Yeah, no, it never happened though. Season 6 was the worst thing I've ever seen in my life.
We have a question here. Yeah.
I was thinking about interesting feminist lesbian characters, and there was a HBO show called Deadwood.
I love
Deadwood, for those of you who can't hear.
Calamity Jane,
Calamity Jane.
a very complex personage, and had a lesbian relationship with one of the other people.
Yeah, Deadwood, if you haven't seen it, it is not PG-13. We'll put it that way. It's kind of the predecessor of Game of Thrones, but it's basically Game of Thrones in the West. But Calamity Jane, the actress, if she didn't win an award for that performance, she was nominated. She's phenomenal, and there's several other people you will recognize from other kind of sci-fi fantasy shows in there. I guess I'm not sure how it's related, but I'm loving American Gods. Anybody else watching that adaptation? And there's some interesting representation in that show too. Yeah.
Supergirl.
Yeah.
Supergirl.
Thank you.
That actually brings up an interesting point that I wanted to make earlier. Thank you. I don't know how many of you guys saw the reaction to the interview from San Diego Comic-Con this last year. Yeah, and I was like, way to fail, where women in the 90s totally succeeded. Because, like, a lot of the queer subtext and, like, the development of the relationship between Xena and Gabrielle was the two actresses learning about fans and how they felt about the characters and being like, okay, we'll incorporate that into our performance, and then we'll make it a thing. Versus these two characters in Supergirl, like, have someone come up to them during a panel at Comic-Con, and then they're like, oh, we feel this way about your characters, and they're basically like, ha ha ha, no homo. And I'm like, really? That's how you respond to this in 2017?
Do you have the source for that? 'Cause
I've
heard a lot. I mean,
Yeah.
I watched Supergirl and
I actually do off of my Twitter. I actually wrote a giant letter about that, and I posted it on Twitter, so I can give it to you.
Okay.
Because someone asked the source to that, and I linked right under it, so if you want to find it.
Because I heard the two actresses have, is it Florina Lima and
I don't know their
Kylie?
names.
They, from what I've seen, have been very supportive of their own
Yeah.
characters.
Oh, no, it was like Melissa Benoit and Jeremy Jordan who were making fun of Supercorp. Like,
Right. So people who have no idea what we're talking about, Supergirl, there's a ship, a popular ship, here we go, I'm turning into a mom teacher. But Supergirl, there's a popular ship between her and Lena Luthor, and let me tell you, I totally ship it because it needs to happen, but, so they were asked about that, somebody didn't handle it well, but it was the actor and the main actress, right?
Yeah, it wasn't the.
It wasn't the two women.
I thought you were
Katie
talking
McGrath
about
is
the
still
two.
pure and you can still love her.
You were talking about
Okay.
Alex and Maggie, and I got.
Melissa Benoit's PR team possibly sent cease and desist letters to fans about it though.
Ooh.
So,
Wow.
But they're
Canceled.
really intense, the legal court.
All right, yeah, we have 2 more questions.
What you were saying sort of brought up a thought for me, like, there is more queer representation in TV now, but it's often supporting characters, and there's still things like what just happened with Supercorp. So I guess my question is, how far do you think we've come, and how far have we not? And what's the balance there?
That is a really good question. Because I feel like progress has been made, but then it almost feels like we step backwards every time we step forwards, and that we almost end up in the same place. There are a lot of queer people on TV. Not as many women as I would like to see, and not as many in lead roles that I would like to see. Like, the only mainstream one I can think of right now is that show, The Fosters, that has like the giant family, and then the moms are a lesbian couple, and so that's pretty solid, but we need more, I think.
Also, we need more things that's not like a toss-off, like, hey, we're gonna have one episode where we show somebody's backstory and it turns out they one time had a relationship with someone of the same sex, and it's not that anymore, really, and like doesn't matter really going into the future. But again, that's why I say Winona Earp is really great. Also, Lost Girl is fantastic. I know they're like, Winona Earp is still ongoing, but like the primary romance, they're like 2 of the leads in the show, not the primary lead, but they're the primary romance. Like, they have a really healthy relationship, and it's not just like idealized. Like, they have an actual like on-screen fight about boundaries. And like everyone in the whole show is like, this is a great relationship for you, we support this. So like, if you want like positive like lesbian relationships, like Winona Earp.
It'd be great if we could get some representation on the new Wayward Sisters that's coming out in
They said that
Supernatural.
there's going to be, Brianna
Yeah.
talked about that.
I figured they should go
But
there.
and like Robert Barron's is running it as a queer man, so.
Okay.
Hopefully more like women of color and trans women and
Yes.
stuff.
Yes, they're paying attention to that with casting, I believe.
Awesome.
I'm still amazed Disney had a lesbian storyline on Once Upon a Time.
Oh, wow.
Like, I couldn't believe that happened.
But honestly, like, I was kind of disappointed. So I was watching that, and I was shipping, like, Sleeping Beauty and, right? Yeah, they had such chemistry. And then it felt like a cop-out to give us these characters, like, oh, we're going to toss off these characters so we can, like, fulfill the fans who want, like, this lesbian story. Like, which it was nice that they had one at all. Like, I get that. But I was like, it would have... Right? It would have been actually subversive to kill off the lame prince that nobody likes. And then have the 2 of them get together.
All right, everyone. It's time for us to call it quits, unfortunately.
If you answered anything, if you
yeah,
participated,
you can catch us outside.
Enjoy our Facebook group.
Thanks, everybody.
always.